Welcome to episode 46 of the Financially Free Journey podcast, and I am your host, Courtney Dyer. Well, welcome back to another episode of the Financially Free Journey podcast, where we aim to dispel the seemingly complex topic of personal finances, money management, debt, savings, investing, and even retirement. And if you're new here, welcome, and thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, if you haven't already, make sure that you go and subscribe to the show. That way you can get notifications when new episodes go live. So, who out there is happy that 2020 is now in the rear view? Well, I think I am safe to say that the majority of you guys listening are really wanting to make 2021 a better year than 2020. Am I right? And one of those New Year's resolutions always seems to be increasing income. And a top way to do that is through successfully starting that side business that you keep putting on the back burner. So to get to it, let's talk about it. Let's talk about jumping into that dream or that passion of yours via a side business. It can be intimidating, and you may have that sense of imposter syndrome. And if you don't know what imposter syndrome is, well, it's where you feel like you are nowhere near enough qualified to be considered someone that others would pay to do whatever that passion is of yours. You feel like a fake or a fraud, and that you really should just leave it to the professionals. You doubt your skills, your talents, and your accomplishments, and have that persistent internalized fear that you're going to be exposed somehow as a fraud. And a little secret is that studies have shown that nearly 70% of individuals that are trying to chase and pursue their passions, they experience this imposter syndrome and signs of it at least one point in time in their life while they're trying to really accomplish that side business. So that is an extremely high percentage of people that feel that way, and it can be a very hard roadblock to really get past when it comes to taking action on that side business and turning your passion into profits. We are currently living in a time where we have unlimited potential. Never before in history has there ever been such a time where there's been rapid documented growth, where entrepreneurs have really, hung up their corporate hats to go into business for themselves full time. Now, if you have the desire to start a side business or to work for yourself and the ability to drive yourself and to learn a profitable skill, the sky is truly the limit for you. And why not you? Every single day, people are trying to turn their passion into a successful and profitable empire and are being successful with it. So listen to this statistic that I found. A recent study revealed that over 66% of people in the United States that are in the age range of 18 to 34, they have a desire to start a side business, but only 3.6% of businesses in the United States are owned by individuals in that age bracket. So why is that? Well, we know that it's not because of a lack of talent or education. In fact, the millennial generation is one of the most educated generations in recent history. With instant access to learning new skills and the barrier to entry being dramatically reduced in a lot of profitable industries, there really is not a reason to us to not pursue these side businesses. And to put it bluntly, I would go to say the top 3 reasons why action is not taken is, number 1, a lack of confidence, 2, a perceived lack of resources, and 3, this is most of all, a lack of motivation. Now, the majority of people who are trying to start a business are doing so while working full-time. Many of them have a family and children that they really have to take care of. And starting a business while juggling so many different hats can be extremely hard, and it can really feel impossible at times. The fact still remains that taking action on your ideas can really afford you many luxuries in the long run, which also includes the ultimate luxury of time freedom. Of course, having additional income or an uncapped earning potential is exciting and all, but the ultimate luxury of being able to spend your time when, how, and with who you want is the ultimate goal for most. So before you jump in, though, you do have to have a solid plan. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about some of the top tips that successful entrepreneurs have shared as to how they were able to be successful in their endeavors and to get over those top 3 hurdles when it comes to starting a business. The first tip is you have to make that commitment. This is the most difficult step and one that many never really get past. You have to truly make the commitment to take action and to not just say that this is something that you would like to do. This step is hard and this step is scary. If you truly commit to something, then you have that potential to fail. And most of us do not want that potential to fail. If you allow your dream to stay a dream, then you won't ever fail at it, right? Now, that's the problem and the reason why most people never get past this step and make the commitment. You have to be okay with the fact that you may fail at it. The fact is that you most likely will, and you're going to have to reevaluate what you did. You're going to have to pick up the pieces and try again. If you are able to really be okay with that, put your ego to the side, then you really are ready to make the commitment. You're going to need to write down a list of all of the activities and commitments that you have during a normal given week. Assign each of those activities or commitments a time value. Now look at those activities that you have and that you do each week that you've committed your time to, and look at what you can give up or at least lessen the amount of time that you're currently committing to those activities. This is going to allow you to really have time now to dedicate to your side business. And a tip here is to look at your screen time report on your phone or all of your devices and see how much time you're currently spending on your devices. And what are you doing exactly? I can almost guarantee that you'll be able to quickly see that time is not really the issue as to why you're not taking action on your business. With the average screen time report being almost 4 hours a day, and in quarantine, that amount has actually increased on average more than 30%. I can rest assured to say that you can probably find 1 to 2 hours a day where you're going to be able to dedicate time to your newfound side business. Now, I'm not saying to completely eliminate all of the things that you love to look at online, but what I'm saying is to look at where you are spending your time and how you can substitute some of that time into something more productive that will help bring you more meaningful joy. Now, the second tip here is to objectively look at your strengths and your weaknesses. So what skill sets are required for you to be successful for your new side business? For example, let's say you want to start an online clothing boutique. Well, some of those skills that you're most likely going to need are an eye for fashion, procuring wholesale clothing, brokering international shipping, building a website, price modeling, online marketing, social media presence. Now, you may instinctively have an eye for fashion, and that has always been something that you've been told that you would be amazing at with starting an online clothing boutique, because everything that you pick is always trendy and people always give you compliments. Well, this is just one of those very critical skills that is going to be required in order for you to be successful. This is where you need to pause and make the decision. Are you going to spend the time to learn these skills yourself, or are you going to create a plan to outsource these segments to professionals that specialize in it? This also may come down to really the resources that you have available to you and what you can afford. So make sure that you take the time to do the research required to know what skills are truly needed. Can you learn those skills yourself? Can you dedicate time to it? Or would it be best to outsource these items, and do you have the resources to do so? Now, the third tip here is to really validate your business idea. When Fortune asked founders of failed startups what went wrong with their businesses, the number one reason that was cited as to why their business failed was because there was a lack of market need for the product. And this was over 50% of the reason why these founders stated that their companies ultimately failed. So let's learn from these statistics. Early on in your planning, you need to validate your business idea and show that there really is a business need for what you plan to offer. This means that you need to get honest feedback from potential customers. It's in our nature to have tunnel vision, right? And when it comes to ideas that we have, especially, we have a preconceived bias to our own ideas, and then we look for confirming opinions on that. The key to this step is to get feedback from individuals that would be potential customers, and they're not going to be people that you're so close to that they're your evergreen cheerleader. These are people that really should be willing to give you that honest, real, and raw feedback, and you need to be willing to accept it. Okay, guys, I found a website you have to check out. It's called shapeandfoster.com. Shape and Foster is a lifestyle development app that provides monthly actionable insights from 6 experts in mental health, financial planning, nutrition, fitness, yoga, and even a lifestyle coach. It is a one-stop shop for self-improvement. The app provides a proactive and informed approach to improving your mental well-being by enabling practices and habits to be built. Lifestyle development is about enhancing your your quality of life by improving awareness, identity, and potential. So make sure that you visit www.shapeandfoster.com for your free 14-day trial. The next step here is to really create a competitive advantage for your business. This is what is known as your unique advantage. It really allows your business to generate greater profits and sales. This is what makes your business your business. Your competitive advantage can be something intangible, like your company's moral vision and your higher purpose. It can also be something tangible, like your cost structure, the product that you offer, distribution network, or strategic relationships. Whatever you decide, you need to make sure that your competitive advantage sets you apart from your competition and that you really can articulate what that is to a potential client. Now, the next tip here is to really set detailed, measurable, realistic goals for yourself and for your company. As a business owner, you need to have your GPS set to where you're going prior to starting your trip, right? Without setting obtainable goals and realistic deadlines for yourself, you're going to spend a lot of time spinning your wheels. Most highly successful companies set daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annual goals for their companies. Keeping yourself constantly accountable will help you make progress toward and really achieving your short-term and your long-term goals for yourself and for your company. If I asked you what your goal for your company is today, would you be able to tell that to me? What if I asked you what your company goal was for this month? Would you be able to say? Now, tell me your company's goal for this year. Make sure that you're able to articulate your goals in qualitative and quantitative measurements. If you don't know where the bus is heading, then how do you expect other people to jump on the bus? The next tip here is to really build a roadmap to your launch date and beyond. Okay, so we know it's one thing to set goals, but it's another thing entirely to take action by building a step-by-step roadmap to get there. With this step, you have to be willing to really adapt and to make changes as needed. Many once successful companies failed to adapt, which led to their inevitable demise of their company. Your customers' wants and their needs are always changing, and so is the market, and so is your competition. If you're not willing to see outside of your own well-designed plan, you may be cutting off your nose to spite your face. Your ability to problem solve and navigate around obstacles will really determine your level of success. Are you able to see big picture and solve strategically for that? Or are you always solving small, in-the-moment needs that never really help change the course of your business or your success? The next tip is to really be willing to admit to your weaknesses and to outsource them. As hard as it is to believe, as a business owner, you're not going to be strong at all the skills that are required and needed in order to be successful. Sometimes it's hard to turn over control to someone else because your business is like your baby and you want to stay in control of all aspects. The truth is that successful entrepreneurs and companies know that they need to acquire experts in various lines of business in order to be successful. Steve Jobs actually once said, "It doesn't make sense to hire people who are smarter than you to tell them what to do. We hire smart people so they can tell us what to do." Simply put, if you want to be successful, don't allow your ego to get in the way. Allow people to excel in their expertise and advise you on how you can better make decisions in your company. Another quote here that I think perfectly makes sense from Mark Twain is, "When you hire people that are smarter than you prove that you're smarter than them." So when you do this, it really also allows you to spend time where you excel and to really exercise your strengths. The real and final point here is that you need to be doing only what you do best. The next tip is to actively and objectively seek feedback. Now, remember earlier when I mentioned confirmation bias? That is important to remember at the conception of your business and also as you start to grow and have more success under your belt. Your ultimate goal is to build a productive business with a product or a service that provides true value to the marketplace. This is why it's critical to continually seek unbiased feedback, not only from your external customers, but also from your internal employees. Do this from day one and never stop doing it. Ultimately, starting a business is hard and will take a lot of work. If you don't like doing work and doing hard things, then starting a business may not be for you. But you need to remember one thing: the pros can absolutely outweigh the cons. Make sure that you truly understand what you're getting into, do your research, and never stop growing and adapting to the market and what your customers' needs are. If you are really able to put your ego aside, you will be successful if you stay motivated and dedicated and doing what needs to be done and really dedicating your time to the business. But before we wrap up today, I wanted to make sure that I touch back and I announced the winners to the giveaway challenge I spoke about during the last episode. So thank you to everybody that participated in the giveaway and entering by leaving a review for the show on Apple Podcasts. So the three winners are, these are the usernames that were used to leave your review: Kay Brown, Laura Mooney Pie, and Nikki Jones. So congratulations to the three of you for winning the giveaway. These three individuals, they won lifetime free access to my online budgeting basics course at achieveyourmoneygoals.com. So in order to gain access, make sure that you guys send me an email so I can get the information I need to create a login for the three of you. So thanks again for tuning in to today's episode, guys. And if you haven't already, make sure that you go subscribe, rate, and review the show on Apple Podcasts. And also make sure that you follow us on Instagram. It's at Financially Free Journey, and I post tips and motivation to help you on your financially free journey. Until next time. Hey, before you go, have you checked out my online course yet? If you want to eliminate debt, build up income, and know how much money you need exactly to retire, make sure you head over to www.achieveyourmoneygoals.com to take action today.